Experience Karen Hunter
in a completely different way.
Karen Hunter is awesome. The podcast.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Promised to lower your grocery prices, they're higher. He promised, I'll be a better steward of the economy. It's worse than we inherited. Over and over, he's breaking promises and doing outrageous things like disappearing people off of American streets, violating fundamental principles of this document, invoking the Alien Enemies Act from the 1700s that was last used to put Japanese Americans in internment camps? Do we see what's happening? How much is enough?
That's 17 hours in, Cory Booker, and you can hear the weary and the slurring. 17 hours is now officially 21 and a half hours. He has been filibustering to bring attention to the policies, the tyranny, the inhumane behavior of our current government, and kudos to him, Cory Booker. I love leaders. This is why we elect people who are going to lead, who are going to represent. Kevin Powell is here. Kevin Powell, he of course, Grammy-nominated poet, author of 16 books, including the Kevin Powell Reader. And joining us is somebody else who is representing Mayor of Enfield, North Carolina. He's out in them streets dodging the hate and running right through it. He is also the founder of Black Male Voter Project. Yes, he is. Let me welcome back to the show, W. Mondale Robinson. Hi.
What's going on, family? How you doing? It's good to see you again.
Good to be seen. Good to see you,
brother.
Yes, you are doing the work, and I'm just grateful. Grateful. Where are you right now in terms of, listening to Cory Booker? Are you encouraged? Do you think this is going to lead a charge in Congress for more people to step up?
You know what? I think it's ironic that a black man, one of the few black men in the Senate, has to use a tool of racism. The filibuster is just that. It was a racist tool meant to, prevent southern states or northern states from stopping southern states from doing craziness as it pertains to black people. I'm not encouraged because of that. I do like to see that brother, and I see he's on path to hold the longest filibuster, which is absolutely crazy to me, thinking back that Democrats didn't get rid of the filibusters when we had the opportunity to. But then again, it's also been it's our only tool that we can use. Here's where I do see fire in people. Black people showing up in Louisiana the way they did, the way we're showing up in these special elections is showing me that all of this rhetoric from these pundits who never turned out a black voter, showing me that black people are not becoming more conservative, more prone to Donald Trump's ridiculous rants and also racism. What we see, though, is there requires a significant investment in black people, not in advertisement dollars, but in black people to turn us out. And you have to have relationships that are transformative. That is powerful because that's a message that I've been screaming. However, I don't know how well the Democratic Party is going to heed to it. We'll see right now in this special election when the power of the black vote in the South, which will be the new black vote, is gonna determine what happens in Florida in these special elections.
Do we need the Democratic Party? Because what happened in Louisiana had nothing to do with them. Had everything to do with boots on the ground, Gary Chambers in them streets. I didn't see the Democratic apparatus helping Louisiana this time, last time, or any time. I think what we're seeing is that we, the people, can make a difference. And let's stop. A caller called up and said, who are they going to pick next time to run? I said, who are we going to pick? Who's going to represent? Let's stop abdicating our power to a system that was never designed for our acceleration, right? So we have opportunity right now.
You were going to say something, Kevin?
No, no, I agree
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, I mean, Karen's always on point, but here's what I would say. When I say the Democratic Party needs to pay attention to what's going on and the need that we have as Black people for the Democratic Party is that we need that vehicle. We are the power that is the Democratic Party. They don't win. They've not won a majority of white votes since Black people started voting in the 60s, right? So we know where we stand with the party because they're not really as progressive as we need them to be. We need that institution so we can take these establishment Democrats out in the primary. Consider this, some of the top Democrats right now in Congress won their primary, which basically gave them the seat with less than 30,000 voters.
That's right.
I'm talking about the top Democrat
That's
in
right.
Hakeem Jeffries, 27, 28,000 people. He won the primary. Same thing you could say about Horsford out in Vegas, 37,000 or so. James Clyburn. So if we start participating in the primary, then we can hat trick these Democrats and we can, like you said, take over and pick who will be our candidates. And these are
This
easy ways to win.
you mentioned that AOC won in a district that I think that guy had won three or four in a row running
Yeah,
unopposed. She just
yeah,
decided I'm going to run and went out and door knocked. And the Democratic apparatus was like, "What? We got primaried? How did this happen?" Because somebody went out and talked to people. What?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
And
hard.
you know, it's interesting, Brother Robinson. The seat that Hakeem Jeffries has now is the seat I ran for in 2008 and 2010, and it was striking to me when I realized how little people. I was my district. That district is 600,000 people. You're lucky if 50, 60,000 people vote, and so and there was a lot of issues there because, as you know, as an elected official, it is hard to run for office and also try to do voter education, voter registration all at the same time.
Hmm.
But we also realize that they want the lower numbers because that guarantees that certain people who are not really about the people stay in office as long as possible. So there's a whole kind of holistic approach that we need to this that has to be talked about. And I remember AOC, like the Working Families Party, which is supposed to be our progressive third party in New York City, didn't even endorse her. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't believe that she could actually win. I mean, and I think you see what she represents, and I think that's part of the challenge, Karen, is the value system of all of it. Because is it really about the people? Is it really serving about the people, or are you a careerist that wants to get in and get your salary and your benefits and your pension plan and stay in there as long as possible and just hook up your folks? The person I was running against, Brother Robinson, he had been in there for almost 30 years, and he had maybe two or three bills to his name as a congressional member.
Wow.
See what
I
I'm
Wow.
mean,
saying?
think
Yeah.
about the black the Afro Latino that's I don't even want to say his name that's in the district right next to AOC right now.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Takes so
about.
much APAC money. I don't even want to give him credit. He takes so much APAC money, but he represents the poorest district in New York, and it's one of the blackest districts. And he's afraid to say black, but he has to stand on the floor with nobody in the halls of Congress and scream about the plight of Jewish people as they continually bomb our Palestinian brothers and sisters almost to oblivion. I mean, this is absolutely true what you stated, though. The fact that they do want less people participating because that means they have less people to be responsible to. So the Democratic Party are not no champions of expanding their vote because if they did, they would spend as much money on Secretary of State races as they did on presidential
That's right.
elections. Because if they did that, then Secretary of States could say, guess what? Once you turn 18, then everybody over the age of 18 in the state is automatically registered to vote. But they're not doing that. I mean, we see it in white states. The whitest of states do that. You see in Vermont, people don't lose their right to vote. Even when they go to prison, the white people on death row in Vermont still get to vote. The
On
white
death
people
row.
or death row and white people
Wow.
in Wisconsin don't even need a polling box. Everybody over the age of 18 just gets a ballot mailed to them. But the blacker the state is, the harder it is to vote. So we know that the Democrats are not looking for accountability from the face of black voters or expanding the electorate so we can participate more. We know that. This is why we need more people challenging the Clyburns and all of these other establishment Democrats that stand still. And like this is why I applaud Booker for doing something that most Democrats probably think he's out of order or won't even continue to when he step away from the ballot. They're not going to stand there for the next 27 hours and they're going to do what Chuck Schumer do, go ahead and vote and go along with it and say that it's for the sake of the government. When in actuality, if you were trying to do what's for the sake of the government, you would shut this government down and at least in this form, where you see people being disappeared, right? Where you see people being fired for no other reason than they are investigating Elon Musk or one of his companies, and I don't care what they call it, efficiency or not. So we see oligarchies and other billionaires running our government as if it's a playing toy for them, at the expense of poor people and Black people.
Experience Karen Hunter
in a completely different way.
Karen Hunter is awesome. The podcast.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me in Karen Hunter is Awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is Awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power, a 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.